Pastor Julian here with Central's Devotion for today. I hope you're doing well. Since it's the season of Lent, I wanted to take a look at a passage of Scripture that relates to some of the suffering that Jesus went through after his arrest and how it pertains to us. In particular, I want to look at Luke chapter 23, verse 23. But that'll be the final verse that I read to you. I'm going to read to you the previous 10 verses, starting at verse 23:13. Now this is after Jesus was arrested and went to Herod, and Herod didn't find any issues with him and sent Jesus to Pontius Pilate. And so this is where the story picks up. Pilate called together the chief priests, the rulers, and the people, and said to them, "You brought me this man as one who was inciting the people to rebellion. I've examined him in your presence and have found no basis for your charges against him. Neither has Herod, for he sent him back to us. As you can see, he has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then release him." But the whole crowd shouted, "Away with this man! Release Barabbas to us!" Barabbas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city and for murder. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed to them again. But they kept shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And for a third time, he spoke to them. "Why? What crime has this man committed? I've found no grounds for the death penalty. Therefore, I will have him punished and release him." This is verse 23, but with loud shouts, they insistently demanded that he be crucified, and their shouts prevailed. Friends, in this world that we are living in, what we see going on here and there, we have this awful war in Ukraine with Vladimir Putin, extremely evil character doing evil things. We have the complete moral decay of our nation and lies and inconsistencies just being pushed on them. Believe the science, but that's just code for believe what we're telling you, because then those same people saying believe the science say that man can be a woman, even though genetically it is impossible, and that a woman can be a man, even though genetically it is impossible. And there's all sorts of other things happening. If anybody has been paying attention to the nominee for the Supreme Court, she couldn't define what a woman is. Couldn't define a woman. A Supreme Court nominee can't even define what a woman is. It's tragic. But you know what? All of this is happening because there is a crowd. There is a crowd in our country. There's crowds in the world who are loud. They are loud, and their shouts are prevailing. Their shouts to do things that are contrary to God's design, to what God has planned for us, to God's righteousness and goodness and purity. Their shouts are winning out, and it's affecting our children, our schools. It's affecting relationships. It's affecting so much. And here you see, but with loud shouts they insistently demanded he be crucified, and their shouts prevailed. Pontius Pilate, he's not a hero. He's probably pretty corrupt, a Roman governor, and he didn't find any guilt in Jesus. Here, Jesus, righteous, good, pure, as good as it gets, right? And yet people find what's good and what's pure and what's righteous, and they shout it down to be destroyed. They gather together and shout and become loud to destroy what is good and what is righteous. And this crowd shouted down Jesus, who was good and pure and righteous, so that he could receive the death penalty after being warned 3 times. It's a shame. It's a real shame. And I encourage you to be a loud voice for what is good, what is pure and righteous in this country. So the voices that are shouting down what is good and want to destroy and crucify what is good and righteous, so that their shouts are overshadowed by the shouts for God, the shouts for righteousness, the shouts for goodness. God bless you, and have a great day.